ينصر المسلمين وليتنا الله الكريم ينصر سلطان الأولياء مولانا الشيخ محمد ناظم عادل الأقواني قدس الله سره. أنت سلطاننا يا ربنا، اغفر لنا وارحمنا وتب علينا وزد حبيبك سيد الأولين والآخرين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. زده يا ربي عزا وشرافا ونورا وسرورا وسلطانا ورضوانا رغما في الشيطان ومن تبعه. عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا أولنا في الله وصانعنا بفضل الله. ويا أقتار ويا أنجاب ويا سادات ويا أحباب وأنتم يا أولي الألباب تعالوا وانصروا لله. عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا أولنا في الله أصانعنا بفضل الله. سألناكم ولزلفى رجوناكم وفي أمر قصدناكم وشدوا أمركم لله. عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا أولنا في الله أصانعنا بفضل الله. ويا ربي بسادتي تحقق لي إشارتي مساتاتي بشارتي ويصفو أمرنا لله. عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا أولنا في الله أصانعنا بفضل الله. بكشف العشب عن عيني ورافع البين من بيني وصرف القلب والعين بنور الوجه يا الله. عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا أولنا في الله أصانعنا بفضل الله. صلاة الله مولانا على من بالهدى جانا ومن بالحق أولانا شفي الخلق عند الله. عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا أولنا في الله أصانعنا بفضل الله. مدد 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 يا سيدي مدد 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 يا رسول الله. مدد يا أبو بكر الصديق مدد يا عمر فاروق مدد يا عثمان غني مدد يا إمام علي مدد 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 يا سيدي مدد 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 يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي بلغ الوسيلة يا ربي خصه بالفضيلة يا ربي وارضى عن الصحابة يا ربي وارضى عن السللاء يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي وارضى عن المشايخ يا ربي وارحم والدينا يا ربي وارحمنا جميعا يا ربي وارحم كل مسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي واغفر لكل مذنب يا ربي يسمع لدعاءنا يا ربي لا ترجعنا يا ربي بلغ ما نزوره يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي تنشأنا بنوره يا ربي حفظك وأمنا يا ربي واسقنا جنانا يا ربي أجرنا من عذابك يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي وارزقنا الشهادة يا ربي حوتنا بالسعادة يا ربي واسلم كل مسلم يا ربي واغفر كل مظلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم.
Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barak alayhi wa ala alihi. Inshallah everybody can follow along in English, that the words are very beatific poetry of praising upon the divine and the prophetic reality, the love of all the prophets of the Divinely Presence. Inshallah page 19.
يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج يا فتن يا جيرة العلم يا وهيل الجود والكرم نحن من قوم به سكنوا وبه من خوفهم امنوا وبآيات القرآن علوا فترد فينا أبد وأدي يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج يا فتن يا جيرة العلم يا وهيل أنفسنا في طريقتهم ومعافاة من الفتن يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج يا فتى يا جيرة العلم يا أهيل الجود والكرم.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله. Inshallah Allah Azza wa Jal address us from His Divinely favors, and the greatest of His Divinely favors is Divine love. And we always repeat that for myself always, that this Divine love is like no other love on this earth to be understood. That when the times get tough, most people run. And for Allah everything is by imtihan and testing, that it's easy to love Allah when everything is great, because you're so happy. Oh Ya Rabbi, thank you, thank you, thank you. You got the job you wanted, got the house you wanted, got the car you wanted, maybe some of the kids that you wanted, and you wanted them nice or bad character. Alhamdulillah, all of them great. All those to be very thankful to Allah is easy to love Allah. But if Allah begin to take from the servant, then that testing of love, that Allah testing and looking to the heart, that if I pull this from you, what happens to your heart? And we pray that Allah give us all the istiqam and firmness in our lives, that we love you through the good, easy, but we love you more through the difficulty, Ya Rabbi. To have mercy upon our soul, pity upon our soul, that don't squeeze me so much that I fall from your grace and from your mercy, that always a loving state, that Ya Rabbi the imtihan, the test is becoming hard, the squeezing is becoming intense, that through your mercy and through your rahmah is my only salvation, because the only choice is Allah's rahmah and mercy, otherwise people are running into the hands of shayateen. So it means this way of love is a way of being tested. So it's not what somebody coming and tuning in for the first time say, oh he's talking about love, I understand what love is. No, Allah's love is going to be tried and tested. These people are tested with their blood, their sweat and their tears. That they have shed their blood, they have many shedding of tears, and through their sweat and their running and moving and all that they keep doing in the way of Allah. And that's why these poetries, we'll now be bringing out some Farsi poetry as we sing these Arabic ones, we sing the Urdu ones and also the Farsi ones. That, Ya Rabbi, you put me through hell, but I always came back with a basket of tulips for you. And this is our whole life. So don't say, Shaykh, you didn't tell me when it gets tough, I'm going to run away. But no, that's when Allah wants to see the real love. Not when I'm throwing every beautiful thing at you and you come running towards me and saying, thank you, that's easy. But when I put you through an equivalence of like Jahannam, of difficulty, of continuous tribulations and difficulties upon yourself and your faith and everything of hardship, and they keep coming back to you with a basket of lilies, a basket of roses, means I come back again always with some loving and nurturing of myself, that I love you, I'm putting my head to your feet, I have no one to turn to. I send your rahmah here. Every time you think it's difficult, subhanAllah, look at the TV, we were somewhere and people were complaining and oh this difficult, then they lost their faith in difficulty. And you look at them and ajib that, okay, you're telling me a sad story and we've all been and are going through testing, and then turn on the TV and see that these people were slaughtered. These people were raped and attacked, their children killed, and they have their faith. And when they interview them, all they mention is Allah. They never blamed Allah. They never became angry at Allah, but they had their faith. Now in the news you watch all these families and refugees running with their lives. Many left behind horrific events of what happened to them, to their loved ones, to their children, and they kept their faith. We pray that Allah don't test us beyond our ability, but to grant us istiqam and firmness in our faith that whatever you're testing, alhamdulillah ya Rabbi, let me to pass. And look at all those who have been tested and the degree in which they've been crushed, and they kept their love for Allah, love for Sayyidina Muhammad, love for the way. And that is the dearest to Allah. Through every difficulty I squeeze you, and all that comes from you is your love for my Divinely Presence. And that grants the believer like a root that going deep into the ground, the more they believe, although at that time they feel that Allah forgot them, Allah left them, Allah cast them out. And only Allah come back into our life and say, no, when Allah tests you He loves you. When Allah casts you out is when He is not even paying attention to you, and you find no difficulty, and you find yourself dancing in every place, screaming and yelling and rejoicing in every forbidden way, somebody has forgotten you. But when He loves you, He tests you to give you your degree, your diploma, and the greatest degree and diploma from Allah is His Divinely love. His Divinely love, if it becomes Salaamun qawlan min Rabbil Rahim, if Allah's salam begin to enter into the heart, then they describe Imam is that no matter what you tear me to pieces I won't feel it, because of the dress of Divinely love. If we don't have Divinely love, every difficulty going to be painful. With Divinely love every difficulty comes, all you have is to cry unto Allah, and it's a cry like a sweetness, like a baby in the hands of their parent, that you feel Allah's embrace, you feel Allah's love, and telling it's okay, don't worry, everything will be okay. InshaAllah, page 22.
سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي، سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي، حبك بقلبي راسي، شرفي وعزي ونبراسي، حبك بقلبي راسي، شرفي وعزي ونبراسي، لا فينا لك على راسي، لا فينا لك على راسي، والله فيه تباهي يا سيدي يا سيدي.
page 32 that Allah described the lovers and ashiqeen of Prophet ﷺ, how they're vigilant of that love and how they want to be in the presence of Prophet ﷺ, and they know that that comes by staying awake waiting for Salat al-Tahajjud, as if they're now about to run into Medina. They take all their love, all their difficulties, all their questions, all their concerns right into the Fajr to be in the presence of Prophet ﷺ and to convey all of that love, all of those concerns within their heart in that Fajr prayer. And their shaykhs taught them throughout their life that keep a positive understanding of whatever you're doing in life. When something comes, say, how my shaykh saved me, not how that difficulty come, but how that difficulty didn't kill you is the miracle. Not, oh this difficulty came, oh and this difficulty came, oh it's like where's your protection, where's the protection? No, the protection is that's amazing that that difficulty didn't kill you. And with all our life these awliyaullah, when they're praying and they're happy upon you, the car ran into a truck but not a single scratch of anyone inside touched. So it's not the fact that you got in an accident, that was already written for you from ancient times. But the fact that they interceded that that incident would not take your life or the life of your children, God forbid, in that difficulty, and that the property was damaged but your goods came out safe. So they teach us the adab of even how to interpret what we're seeing in our daily life, and that we attribute that goodness, that I survived, everything is good, everything is okay, I'm healthy, everything going to work out because of the love of Prophet upon us. But testing has to come, difficulties have to come. It's a matter of how they'll save us from all of those, inshaAllah. Now we read the words of the lovers as they're running towards that presence of Prophet inshaAllah, page 33.
أيها المشتاق لا تنمي هذه أنوار دين سلمي قريب أنت في حرمي عند خير القرب والعجم في باب القبر في قدمي مسيرا في
page 45.
نادي علي المظهر العجائب تجده لك في النوائب نادي علي المظهر العجائب تجده لك في النوائب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي يا علي اسمك للقلب من رسل يا علي سبحان يا علي يا من الجود كنوز العلم يا علي صبر المودة كما بزخم ابتسم يا علي يا خير الدنيا من حجك نلتزم يا علي أنت ولصادق بالعدل متسم يا علي أنت لواء الفخر والمناقب وجوهر العزة والمواهب أنت لواء الفخر والمناقب وجوهر العزة والمواهب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي نادي علي المظهر العجائب تجده أولى لك في النوائب نادي علي المظهر العجائب تجده أولى لك في النوائب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي أشرف اسمك فوق ضمير الكتاب يا علي اسمك فضلك على الرتاب يا علي ما يونورك يبوس الحجاب يا علي حذف ضبارين الوجود كواب يا علي كل الوجود اضطرب التذاب يا علي حبك فريد وبشرائع وجاب يا علي شانك فوق الشر والبراطي يا بلغ الإحسان والمقاصد شانك فوق الشر والبراطي يا بلغ الإحسان والمقاصد علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي نادي علي المظهر العجائب تجده أولى لك في النوائب نادي علي المظهر العجائب تجده أولى لك في النوائب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي إلى الدعون الكسر ولد الأبد يا علي بوجودك دين الحنيف الوجاد يا علي يا حسن خالق ما شبيهك أسد يا علي والفوضى خالق وحيد الشهد يا علي بالحشر بس حبك عيد السند يا علي لا واحد فلا إلا ولد يا علي يوم ظهور الفرد والمطالب لا ينفع الأدنى من الأقارب يوم ظهور الفرد والمطالب لا ينفع الأدنى من الأقارب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي نادي علي المظهر العجائب تجده أولى لك في النوائب نادي علي المظهر العجائب تجده أولى لك في النوائب علي 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 يا علي 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 يا علي
Salli wa sallim wa barak alayhi wa alihi, inshallah, page 49.
الله 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 ما لنا مولى سوى الله كلما ناديت ياه قال يا ديانا الله 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 ما لنا مولى سوى الله كلما ناديت ياه
page 100. Our life is about balancing our four elements. Is that we have a fiery nature and a fiery reality given to us, a reality from water, the reality of our earth and our body, and the greatest gift of the divine breath, which is the reality of the wind. Our life is about understanding these elements and balancing them. And interesting how Allah's marketing is to all His creation. When you see the fire bender, the water bender, earth bender, very deep realities. Right now upon this earth is a fire nation, people whom have given their fire reality and have been overtaken by their fire reality, and their nature is to be fiery. And they ask if there's global warming, and then they point to the snow and say, ha ha ha, as if they don't understand what they're asking. It's the fact that the heated element, specifically within insan and the human being, whom became and subjected themselves to their fiery nature, allowed that nature to overtake them and become of a fiery element. No doubt if 99% of humanity is fiery, of course they're firing the earth and warming the earth. So much so that the earth doesn't even want them upon it. With difficulty the earth casts them off of itself. The skies don't want them, the earth doesn't want them, the oceans don't want them, and become the earthquakes, the storms, the tornadoes. Means this nature of ours was to be balanced. And the fire element, what we've talked before through the computers and technology, is from the evilness which their nature is a smokeless fire. But that jinn world, not fallen angels, there are no angels who fall. They misunderstood, misclassified, because shaitan wants to teach them. These are the jinn whom have believers and unbelievers. When the unbelieving one, his element is of a fire and non-stable matter, like any fire or gas, you cannot control it, you can't even deal with it. Their whole interest was to integrate their world with the human world and bring the technologies from their world into the human world and overtake the human mind, the human thought process. And how many times Allah repeated in Qur'an that how many of them you took as your Lord and Saviours. Lord, because of the power they possessed, as soon as people followed them, they are locked into that power. They worship it, they subject themselves to it and they obey it. And this is exactly what Allah describes. You took it and they knew that why to teach them the belief in a higher power that you can't see. We'll give them these technologies, they'll love and be astonished by the power of this technology. They'll begin to worship it, believe in it, and think that I don't have to believe in your God, I can find pizza through my phone if I'm hungry. I can get whatever I want through this technology. So much so that now it's in people's hands, if they take it from your hand you will become violent and angry. There's very few people who can separate from their phone nowadays. These are children on television. If you take their phone away they become violent, they attack their parents. And that was the worshipness. But it becomes such an important element of your existence. Somebody told you today that 40 days you're going to chill out, going to challa, 40 days in seclusion. You go meditate, cut yourself from all technology. Most could never separate themselves because even some who were ordered into seclusion they said, can I take my phone with me, Shaykh? They want to take their phone to text and read emails in seclusion. You can't even isolate yourself from that reality, it's so enmeshed into your being, and that's what the matrix was trying to show. Our belief is that many of these movies and images God has allowed them to be portrayed so people will understand something that's happening to themselves. In religious context many people would be turned off and say, oh you religious people don't know what you're talking about. But when you see it in modern cinema and the understanding is coming that you're just something plugged into like a battery for these beings. As soon as you log on, it's not the battery in that device that powers it, but it's your overwhelming power of your battery in your heart that they want. That's why you feel if you're holding it your hand is heating up. Anybody who does a little bit of energy work knows when they touch this device their hands heat up. You look at it long enough and you feel something pulling from your face. You feel an energy coming off your face because it will pull the energy from your face, from your hand, from your being. It's trying to encase your energy and thrives off what God has not given to it of a reality. So that people become fiery and they give themselves to their fiery nature and become huge fire nations where everywhere they move is just to burn and destroy. And when awliyaullah come in, pious people from all races, religions and denominations come to teach the same, is give into your water reality, that is your angelic being. The angels are born from water. If you're depressed, go by the ocean and watch the water. The waves as they crash, God creates angels from them. My throne was upon the water is a deep reality of angels. That the angelic reality inside people is their water. 70% of their blood, their being is water. Then nourish that reality, bring out that reality, what you eat and drink to that reality. The chanting and the breathing and all your spiritual practices are based on that water, to nourish that water. Now today all religious practices are just based on their earth, just on their body. So you have an earth element too. When it goes fiery it just it subjects its entire being to the material world. It begins to mark itself, pierce itself, tattoo itself, because their earth being is moving towards the earth desire. The spiritual earth being is when they pay no importance to it. That they're not here to overly polish it, decorate it or to glamorize it, but it's something that they have to use to balance their water and their fire. And the whole purpose of their body, of what they eat and what they drink and how they pray and how they discipline themselves was like a scale. They understood that their earth being is a scale and it should nourish the power of their water. Because when the earth and water come together, the flowers grow, the reality and growth grows. This is a tremendous secret of the earth reality. When it's balanced and not overly emphasized, not exaggerated in its importance, it's a donkey that's going to go into the dirt. Whether you make it so fit and so firm and color it with all sorts of colorings and spend all your life doing that, someone comes to you, do you know that that creature that you put so much time on is going into the earth? And then it just evaporates and the worms eat it and it goes. But it was meant to come to use a greater force that's within us. That this fire within me, I should be training on how to bring the fire down. Don't ever let anger overtake you. Don't give an excuse that anger is okay. Don't say that we can live by anger. No, you'll die by anger and you'll enter the fire nation and go towards where fires go. So this body has the ability to put fire out. That's why Prophet brought tayammum, is that if you cannot use water to clean yourself, you can get clean clay. Like you take books from the sand and you can use by just touching the sand and tapping yourself just to put the fire and the negativity out if you don't have access to water. So it means you use the physicality on how to discipline it, how to clean it, how to purify it and nurture the water. Bring out the reality of that water and God will make the angels to make everything to grow within that person. That they'll become like the seed that God plants within His realities and out comes a beatific rose from the Divinely Presence with all its fragrances, with all of its realities. Versus the one who gives themselves to their fiery elements and all they do is burn and destroy and have anger and rage and desires that are not controlled. A reminder always for myself is then the balance of these elements. When they balance their water nature, subdued their fire, brought out the angelic reality, God opens upon them the power of their breath. That this single greatest power given by the Divinely Presence is this nafas. All your life's plans and programs mean nothing if that breath is not given to you. Means all that you plan for, all that you do, all that you're struggling for, if God does not give you the next breath right now, you're dead. So all the planning was for what? You don't know if you go out then the next breath is finished. You can't even come out. So then they built their whole life on the power of that Divine for that breath. Given me and they say 24,000 breaths in one day. And they say, why are you guys always saying thank you so much? Thank you, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, shukran lillah. Oh, because 24,000 opportunities in life He gave me in that day. Alhamdulillah, shukran. Thank you for the breath you gave me. Forget about the money, everything else that people are worried about. But the breath that you gave me, I'm thankful for it. But continue that mercy to come, the breath to come, and then God begins to open the power of that breath. That if I begin to open the qudra of your breath, that when they breathe they can take the elements of God's power within the air. That every atom that's filling trillions, billions beyond even numeric count of these atoms in the air, they're powered in their nucleus by the realities of Hu. When they breathe, they're like a filtering system. They breathe in and begin to take the Hu element of every breath, and that nurtures their heart and their soul. And their soul takes like a fuel and a power from that reality. The breath can be extremely powerful. We pray that God Allah open for us these realities. That these four elements, how to bring out its reality and its ability and God's true servants of that reality. They bend the fire, means they subdue the anger and bring the fire of Divinely zeal, that they can conquer mountains, they can move from left to right from His Divinely grace of wanting to do good, wanting to do things that don't benefit through profit but they benefit the prophetic reality. And that's a zeal and a himmah. And to bring out their watery nature, that's not something that's water but God's throne is upon that water, to bring out their angelic reality, and that becomes the force and the knowledges in which they teach. And then the discipline of their physicality, and then bringing out the power of that divine breath and wind. InshaAllah, bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa bi siri Surat al-Fatiha. Ya Rasul Kareem, inshaAllah, Ya Mustafa. Page 102. In the Urdu section, inshaAllah, page 102.
Ya Mustafa, 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 Ya Mustafa. Tu hai aashiq Nabi, sabko ye bataye ja, Mustafa ke ishq mein سجائے جا. جشن آمد نبی، جشن آمد نبی، دل سے تو منائے جا، دل سے تو منائے جا. یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ. دامن نبی پکڑ اور خدا کا نام لے، پرچم نبی کو تو آگے بڑھ کے تھام لے. نعرہ محمدی، نعرہ محمدی، زور سے لگائے جا، زور سے لگائے جا. یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ. گفتگو کی ابتدا لفظ بول کر، دل صدے کا جیت لے میٹھے بول بول کر. جن سے تجھ کو عشق ہے، جن سے تجھ کو عشق ہے، ان کے گیت گائے جا، ان کے گیت گائے جا. یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ. پلے باندھ لے، سامنے جو آئے وہ ان کو ہاتھوں ہاتھ لے. او شرط بابا کے تو، او شرط بابا کے تو، مرتبہ بڑھائے جا، مرتبہ بڑھائے جا. یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ. بہشت کے رات دن تو گھوم کر، اپنے والدین کے ہاتھ پاؤں چوم کر. وقت کو جگائے جا، وقت کو جگائے جا، دل سے گھر بنائے جا، دل میں گھر بنائے جا. یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، سے بڑوں کی کر. دامن مراد کو اپنی جوزوا سے بھر. سیرت نبی سے تو، سیرت نبی سے تو فائدہ اٹھائے جا، فائدہ اٹھائے جا. یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ، یا مصطفیٰ. تجھے اب کیوں منانا ہے، سبز پرچموں سے گھر خوب تر سجانا ہے. جشن آمد نبی، جشن آمد نبی،
sallim wa barik alayhi wa ala alihi. Inshallah, the recitation is the single most powerful tool that the awliya will use on insan, that if they pray day and night it's not the same reality. Because if you pray, God has to govern your intention, but because these associations and these acts are acts of love, there's no intention required. The minute you begin to enter into these associations of chanting, because of the power of sound, if people don't understand the reality of sound, we said many times before, you have your form, that form with its quantum teachings can be brought down to the understanding of light. That light to be manifesting is based on energy, form, light, energy. Energy is based on sound. So it means that the single most powerful weapon against bad character is sound. The sound you emanate, the sound that you resonate, and the sound that you enter into will completely affect your being. So of a fiery nature, as soon as you enter into the association, they're inspired to keep reciting, keep reciting, keep reciting. If you have the ability to move your tongue and even imitate, they take every word that you're reciting and they begin to ask the angels to intercede. They go to intercede upon them, means their world is something that completely unimaginable. If it's a divine court, if for a moment they ask you to stand, immediately they'll go before God and say, for the honour of your beloved presence and the honour of your beloved prophets, they stood for you, Ya Rabbi, take away their difficulties. Because every action that you're doing in their presence, it has a benefit and a reality. So they say, Ya Mustafa, we have no understanding what the value of that is. Ya Allah, all of these zikrs, all of these salawats, everything being recited, these angels are presenting them to the Divinely Presence. These angels are bringing these energies in, awliyaullah are bringing these energies in and bringing the fire of that character down, bring the fire of their nature down. There are awliyaullah who enter into the hearts and into the soul and they find the difficulty within the heart, they find the nature of its badness, of what's making it to want bad desires, what's making it to have bad characteristics. God has given many powers. وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا, that we have chosen and honoured this creation of Adam and Eve. It's unimaginable what Allah God Almighty has given of a power to the souls. And the single most powerful weapon is these praisings and recitations. They take the praising and go after the fire. When they bring to diminish the fire, they take the same praisings to go after the water and nourish the water of insan. Purify their blood, my Lord, dress them from your realities, bless their blood from your realities, bless their soul from your realities, bless your house within their being which is their Divinely heart. Make it a house for your Divinely Presence. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven is taught in all books. The kingdom of God will come into the heart of the servant. They have to clean it with all these chantings and all these praisings. And it resonates at an angelic level where Allah says, the truth and falsehood, they don't come together. And falsehood by its nature is perishing. So it means everything that we recite and talk and listen to is of a false nature. As soon as we come towards praisings of the Divine, breathing of Divine grace, anything doing with being of service and goodness, it comes like a light that hits and shatters all falseness, all bad characteristics, all like calcifications on the bottom of a boat, just crusting itself upon the soul. These recitations hit and smash, hit and smash, hit and smash, and rejuvenate the light of that soul and purify and perfect it. Until when they're reciting all the time, their soul now is resonating at a completely different power. When the soul resonates and the person's body only resonates at low sounds, they talk low, they act low, their entire being is of a low nature, and you see many demonic entities able to be around them. The stronger they resonate, with the better character that they resonate, when they're continuously in praise, their vibration is so strong that no lower being can even move towards them, and all the higher beings are completely surrounding them because of the resonation that they're doing, the way their soul is resonating. It attracts all of the higher level beings, and that's the association that their soul is in, not the lower association of desires and bad character. We pray that God keep lifting us into His Divinely Present, Divinely Light, and understand the reality of sound, the reality of these recitations, to be dressed and blessed by them. InshaAllah bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa bi siri Surat al-Fatiha. Ameen. We begin a 1500-year-old recitation called the Khatm Khawjagan, the recitation of the masters of the Khawjagan masters, inshaAllah, with the intention that we be in their association and in their group, and their lights to dress us and bless us, and then a nice dinner right after. Dinner's still coming, and candies. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نوتر 40 نوتر اعتكاف نوتر خلوة سلوك وصيام في المجلس يا رب العرش العظيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Huh? Yeah, the window? Can we clear that window? Step on the road, just gonna push it. نوتر 40 نوتر الاعتكاف نوتر خلوة سلوك وصيام في هذا المجلس يا رب العرش العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أستغفر الله 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 أستغفر
العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو القيوم وأتوب إليه إنه هو التواب الرحيم دين الإسلام من كل ما يقال الشريعة من كل ما يقال التاريخ من كل ما يقال المعرفة من كل ما يقال الحقيقة من كل ما يقال نظيما يا أرحم الراحمين يا الله اللهم يا مسبب الأسباب فتح الأبواب مقلب القلوب والأبصار يا عدل المتحيرين يا غياث المستغيثين يا حي يا قيوم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام وفوض أمر إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد.
Prophet al-Sharif, inshaAllah, asking to oversee ourselves with Rosa Sharif in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and see ourselves in oceans of light, in front of us light, to the right of us light, to the left of us light, behind us light, above us light, and below us light, and let that energy and that power enter within our hearts, inshaAllah, and take away all difficulty and mushkilah.
فاتحة الشريف بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين صلوات الشريف اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم 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 ألم نشرح لك الشريف بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر إخلاص الشريف بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر فاتحة الشريف بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين صلوات الشريف اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم 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 اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم
يا ربي وسلم جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين وكل أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. بشرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أصحابه الكرام. طالب شيخنا في طريقة النقشبندية الرانية، خاصة روح إمام طريقة غوث خليقة شان نقشبند محمد ويس البخاري، سلطان أولياء شيخ مولانا فايز الداغستاني، سلطان شيخ محمد آدم عادل الحكاني، مولانا شيخ هشام كواني، شيخ عدنان كواني، شيخ محمد عادل، مولانا خالق الخوش دواني، صاحب الزمان سيد محمد المهدي عليه السلام، وروح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام، سيف الله سيدنا عليه السلام، ثم سيدنا أبي بكر الصديق، سيدنا عمر، سيدنا عثمان، إمام الحسن عليه السلام، وحسين عليه السلام، سيدنا فاطمة عليه السلام، وسيد ساداتنا والصديقين. الفاتحة. آمين يا رب العالمين. آمين.
قال أنه لا إله إلا الله، 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 لا إله بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب أنا يا الله 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 حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم
Ya
سبحان يا سبحان
يا سبحان يا الله يا سبحان يا سبحان يا سبحان يا الله
يا سلطان يا سلطان
يا سلطان يا الله يا سلطان يا سلطان يا سلطان يا الله
يا أمان يا أمان
يا أمان يا الله يا أمان يا أمان يا أمان يا الله
يا الله يا الله
يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله
أنت الله وأنت الله
أنت الله يا الله أنت الله أنت الله أنت الله يا الله
هو الله هو الله
هو الله يا الله هو الله هو الله هو الله يا الله
بسم الله
الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا سماء صل على محمد يا أهل يا سماء صل على محمد يا أهل يا سماء صل على محمد محمد المهدي خليفة الله 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 يا سيد يا صاحب يا صديق يا رسول يا الله يا سيد يا صاحب يا صديق يا رسول يا الله يا سيد يا صاحب يا صديق يا رسول يا الله يا سيد يا صاحب يا صديق يا رسول يا الله يا سيد يا صاحب يا صديق يا رسول يا الله
حسبنا الله
ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله نعم المولى نعم النصير نعم المولى ونعم النصير حسبنا الله ربنا الله حسبنا الله ربنا الله نعم المولى ونعم النصير
نعم المولى
ونعم النصير
يا غالبا
غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب يا شاهدا غير مغيب يا شاهدا غير مغيب يا شاهدا غير مغيب يا قاربا غير بعيد يا قاربا غير بعيد يا قاربا غير بعيد يا قاربا غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب
حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم ونشرف العالمين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم على أفضل العالمين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم على أفضل من سيدنا محمد صلوات الله تعالى وملائكته والأنبياء ورسوله وجميع خلقه على محمد وعلى آل محمد عليه السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. ورضي الله تبارك وتعالى عن سادتنا أصحاب رسول الله أجمعين وعن التابعين بإحسان وأئمة المجتهدين المعدين والعلماء المتقين والأولياء الصالحين ومشايخنا في طريقة النقشبندية العلية قدس الله تعالى روحهم زكية نعم الله تعالى ذاتهم مباركة والله تعالى من بركاته وفيضاته دائما والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة. الحمد لله تقبل الله إن شاء الله. Any announcements? Anything happening?
Please, Amazon reviews.
Oh yeah, inshallah we have our new book out for the secrets of Surah Al-Yasin, and Prophet ﷺ is walking Quran. Anyone needs that book to be signed, and I can sign that. Anybody who are reading these books, and even if you're not reading the books, please go to Amazon and write a positive review.
Ameen.
Ameen.